Okay, let's dive right in. We all use apps like Uber, TikTok, and Slack, right? But have you ever really stopped to think about how they got their very first user? I mean, how do they go from a totally empty app to this global thing that we all use? Well, that journey is exactly what we're going to break down today. So let's start by pulling back the curtain on what looks like a super simple app on your phone. We're all used to Uber's whole promise: hit a button, get a ride. But what was going on behind that simple little button was an operation of just staggering complexity. This quote from an insider really says it all: a rocket coaster. It just perfectly captures that feeling, that sheer intensity of trying to scale a business that has to connect millions of people all in real time. Right at the heart of Uber's San Francisco headquarters, they had a permanent, high-security war room. And this wasn't just for a crisis. It was built to run 24/7, with these big red digital clocks for time zones all over the world. So behind your simple request a ride button was this intense global operation, with people managing crises from this command center, sometimes at, 2 in the morning on a Sunday. So here's the crucial point. All of that complexity, the war rooms, the frantic meetings, it all boils down to solving one fundamental make or break challenge. And it's a challenge that every single one of these network-based companies has to face.
This right here, this is the secret engine behind today's biggest tech companies. It's called the network effect. It just means a product gets better the more people use it. I mean, think about it. YouTube would be pretty boring without videos and viewers, right? And Slack is completely useless if you're the only one on it. This effect creates this powerful, self-reinforcing loop.
And this is the core paradox. It's the ultimate chicken and egg problem. A network is only valuable when people are on it, but nobody wants to join a network when there's nobody on it. This is the cold start problem. It's like trying to get the first fire started in a huge empty forest. Now, what's so fascinating is that the best way to understand this problem doesn't actually come from business school. It comes from ecology. Yep, the study of social animals like meerkats and sardines. The very same mathematical principles that govern their survival apply directly to these digital networks. It's wild.
So for a group of meerkats, right, if the population is too small, they can't effectively watch for predators or find mates, and the group just collapses. But once they cross this critical number, it's called the Ali threshold, the group becomes self-sustaining, and it just thrives. And for a startup, well, it's the exact same idea. We just call it the tipping point. It's that magic number of users you need for the network to finally take off on its own. Okay, so if hitting that tipping point is the goal, how in the world have companies actually pulled it off? Let's get into the nitty-gritty, the strategies they used to get those first, absolutely crucial users.
All right, the first strategy is a classic. Fake it till you make it. It's got this great name, Flintstoning. Because, just like Fred Flintstone's car, it looks automated on the surface, but underneath there's a ton of frantic legwork going on. When Reddit started, its founders knew that an empty forum is a dead forum. So what did they do? They created dozens of fake accounts and they became the community themselves, posting and commenting until real users finally started to show up. And here's another really powerful strategy. Do you remember Hipstamatic? It was a great little app, cost like $2, and it let you add all these cool vintage filters to your photos. But it was just a tool. Then Instagram comes along, offers pretty much the same filters for free, and adds one crucial ingredient: a network. People came for the tools, sure, but they stayed for the network.
And strategy number 3? Well, when all else fails, you just pay for it. There was actually a moment when Uber's driver network was on the verge of collapsing in some key cities. The solution? A jaw-dropping $750 bonus for any new driver, plus another $750 for the person who referred them. I mean, it was incredibly expensive, but it was the price they had to pay to keep that network alive.
So let's say you've done it. You solved the cold start problem. You hit the tipping point. The hard part's over, right? Well, not exactly. See, success brings a whole new set of challenges. So to fight off market saturation, successful networks have to add layers to the cake. When eBay's main US auction business started to slow down, its growth curve was beginning to flatten out. But then they started layering on new growth engines, things like international markets, payments with PayPal, new features like Buy It Now. So it looks like one smooth hockey stick growth curve is actually a whole series of smaller ones stacked right on top of each other.
But growth has a dark side. See, way back in the early days of the internet, Usenet access was mostly limited to universities. So every September, a new wave of college freshmen would show up online, and the old-timers would have to teach them the rules. But in September 1993, AOL opened the floodgates to everyone. The wave of new users was so huge that the old culture was just completely overwhelmed. That day is literally known as Eternal September, and it's a risk every single growing network faces.
So, after navigating the cold start problem, all the growing pains, the constant crises, what's the ultimate prize? I mean, why go through all of it? Well, because the reward for building a successful network is one of the most powerful forces in all of business.
The legendary investor Warren Buffett has a great term for this. He calls it a competitive moat, a durable advantage that protects a company from all its competitors. And for tech companies, there is almost no moat wider or deeper than a strong network effect.
Just think about it for a second. A competitor can copy every single feature of Facebook or WhatsApp, but they can't copy the billions of users. Why would you ever switch to a new social network if none of your friends are there? The bigger the network gets, the more valuable it becomes, and the harder it is for anyone else to catch up. It creates this amazing virtuous cycle for the winner, and a pretty vicious one for everyone else.
So, you see, understanding this problem isn't just about business history. It's really a lens for looking at the future. The next billion-user network, the next app that totally changes how we live or work, is going to have to solve this exact same puzzle. And the real takeaway is this: it's not going to launch with some massive explosion. It'll start quietly with a single, tiny, almost invisible spark. The real question is, where will that spark appear next?